The Station of Modesty, Al-Hayya, from Ibn al-Qayyim's Madarij al-Salikin. Principle 1. Modesty is an obligation in its essence. The foundation of the Station of Modesty is that it is obligatory. Every believer must possess a certain essential level of it. Evidences. Allah's saying, "Does he not know that Allah sees?" Quran 96:14. A rhetorical rebuke to those who neglect Allah's watchfulness. The Prophet said, "Leave him, for modesty is part of faith." Modesty brings nothing but good. Modesty is a branch of faith. The Prophet's own quality. He was more modest than a virgin in her private chamber. Prophetic wisdom. If you feel no shame, then do whatever you wish. The believer's duty, to fulfill the obligatory degree of modesty and strive to perfect it. Principle 2. The heart's modesty reflects its life. Ibn al-Qayyim linked the vitality of the heart to its level of modesty. The more alive the heart, the stronger its modesty. And when the heart's life fades, modesty fades with it. Practical path. Cultivate the heart's life through remembrance and awareness of Allah, and you will attain true modesty. Principle 3. Modesty is born from witnessing blessings and shortcomings. The heart's modesty arises from contemplating two realities. 1. Witnessing Allah's favors, Allah, the countless blessings He continually bestows. 2. Recognizing one's shortcomings, realizing one's constant failure to fulfill Allah's rights. Result. Reflecting on both leads to true modesty, which drives one to abandon evil and avoid neglect toward Allah. Warning: denying Allah's blessings, whether verbally, by ingratitude, or by failing to acknowledge them, weakens one's sense of modesty. Principle 4. Reviving modesty is a sunnah. Evidence. When the Prophet saw a man criticizing his brother for being too modest, he said, "Leave him. Modesty is part of faith." Ways to revive modesty. Speak of it, praise it, and encourage it. Honor and respect modest people. Never belittle them. Accompany those who inspire modesty. As some sages said, sit with those before whom you feel shame. Effect. Reviving modesty spreads it throughout society until it becomes a deep-rooted moral quality. Condemnation of shamelessness. Allah dislikes public indecency in word or deed. Those who publicize their sins commit a second offense beyond the sin itself. Encouragement. People of modesty should never be blamed for their shyness. Rather, it should be reinforced, even in children, boys and girls alike. Principle 5. Whoever feels shame before Allah, Allah feels shame toward him. The servant's modesty. When a believer constantly feels ashamed before Allah, bowing his head in humility over his many sins and Allah's many favors, that state becomes his true modesty. Allah's modesty. When such a person slips or sins, Allah feels shame toward him. A divine modesty of generosity and majesty, not comparable to human shame. Examples of Allah's noble modesty. He feels shy to return a servant's supplication empty-handed. He feels shy to punish an elderly Muslim with white hair. He feels shy to see his beloved servant committing a sin or standing in a forbidden place. Beautiful saying of Yahya ibn Mu'adh, "Glory be to him, his servant sins, and yet he, Allah, is the one who feels shy." Principle 6. The various types of modesty, paths to Allah. Ibn al-Qayyim mentioned 10 forms of modesty through which a servant may draw nearer to his Lord. 1. Modesty of guilt. 2. Modesty of shortcomings. 3. Modesty of awe and majesty. 4. Modesty of generosity. 5. Modesty of reverence. 6. Modesty of self-insignificance. 7. modesty of love. 8. Modesty of servitude. 9. Modesty of honor and dignity. 10. Modesty before oneself. Advice: if Allah opens your heart to any of these forms, nurture and strengthen it. The highest types. 1. Modesty of love. When love of Allah fills the heart completely, one feels ashamed to be seen by Him in any state he dislikes. 2. Modesty before oneself. When one feels ashamed before his own soul, too shy to openly defy Allah with sin. Principle 7. Modesty corresponds to nearness to Allah. Relationship: the closer the servant is to Allah, the greater his modesty. Level of ihsan: the degree of to worship Allah as if you see Him necessarily produces a deep sense of modesty. Obstacles: forgetfulness of Allah's watchfulness or heedlessness of the station of ihsan weakens modesty. How to increase modesty? Seek Allah's special companionship with the patient, the righteous, the doers of good. Increase in prostration and nearness to Allah, for proximity breeds modesty. Principle 8. Modesty prevents evil and neglect. Effects of modesty: it influences both prohibitions and obligations. 1. Abandoning evils. It drives one to avoid indecent words and deeds, inner vices like hatred, envy, pride, or heedlessness, and the sins of the tongue, insults, cursing, slander, etc. 2. Guarding against neglect. It prevents the servant from neglecting any divine command out of shame before Allah, prompting eagerness in doing good deeds. Loss of modesty: when modesty leaves the heart, no good remains within it. Meaning of the hadith: if you feel no shame, do as you wish. As a statement of fact, whoever lacks modesty will act as he pleases. As a warning, whoever's heart is devoid of modesty will act without restraint, and thus face the consequences that befit his actions.